I'm sitting here in what's officially known as the Hood, right?
That's right.
I'm here with Deret Roberts, and we're in the back end of Art Obscura, in the Hood, next door to the new Hood, if I'll coin it that. But the new shop that's going to be opening, also known as the Hood. There's a whole yard in the back of all these exotic, cars and a streamline trailer, arcade machines. This place is just like, the further you go, the more magic you find. And so I'm here talking to Deret Roberts, who is the owner, the curator. I'm not even sure, this goes so far beyond just business as usual. I don't even know how to really refer to you, like the magician almost. So Deret, dude, thank you so much for letting me come out and talk to you. And this is the first official episode of the Creator's Pursuit podcast, and really I can't think of a better person to kick it off. This place is magic, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, dude, where do we even begin here? Like, what's the surface that we start at?
I don't know. This place has kind of just become the fun house for everything that I want to do and be a part of. Really, this is a place where anything can happen as far as creating and doing, and this is just everything that I want to be around.
Yeah, I think you've obtained that. So how do you actually land here? Like, how does this happen?
Well, got really lucky, I would say. Little bit of hard work and a lot of luck, I would say, at this point. But so with the help of Richard Parra, this place has kind of come into being. We looked for a place for a long time where we could have a retail shop up front and a garage in the back, and we had a few different places in mind. And when this place came up for sale, it was like, that's the place. Yeah, that's where we can do it.
So you guys were working together from like back in the day then?
Yeah, definitely.
So when did you all officially open Art Obscura?
3.5 years ago. So that was November of 2013.
Okay, all right. And Richard Parra is the owner of Spirit Winds.
Yeah, that's right.
So how did you guys?
Well, I used to work at Spirit Winds.
You did?
For Richard, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I worked for him about 5 or 6 years ago. It must have been, about 6 years ago. And, we created a good relationship, and good friend of mine. And, I was getting ready to graduate college, and I was working at Spirit Winds. And, I told him, hey, I'm not going to be able to work for you anymore. I'm getting ready to graduate and I want to do my own thing. And, talking back and forth with him, and we kind of realized, he wanted a garage space that he could do his kind of projects and have fun. And, so we teamed up and started looking for a place that had a retail shop and a garage. And this is where we landed.
Yeah, you found it.
Yeah.
You found it. So we'll run through and show some video of the the whole place around here. But I'm sitting in this garage, and I mean this is the mechanic's garage. I mean we've got this super sweet Yamaha dirt bike. What year is this thing?
This is 74.
74.
Yeah.
This just looks like so much fun right here.
Yeah.
And you're restoring this. You're about to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
I'm gonna rip it all apart and put it back together. Make sure it runs good.
Yeah. And there's classic cars. I'm just gonna rotate the camera around here a little bit. We've got this bomber right here that's just gunmetal, stripped down to the metal and just looking sick. Some station wagons, and I mean just not cars that you come across every day. This place is, like I say, it continues. The magic just continues, man. See if I can recreate the scene there without screwing it up. So I'm only learning about this side of it today. I've been in the front end of the shop, and that place is awesome. That's the art side, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The art gallery, is that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the art gallery, it's like a collective, right? You have how many artists do you have featured out there?
We have about 140 artists featured in the gallery right now.
Wow.
And it's growing constantly.
Huh. All local and area.
Mostly local. We do have some artists out of Albuquerque, El Paso, Deming. So, we're starting to broaden.
Okay.
And starting to reach out and find other artists and bring them to Las Cruces.
Are all of your sales, are they all done within the building here? Do you have much going out online and being shipped out that way?
We don't do a whole lot online. We really try to focus on, getting people into the shop and making sales that way.
Yeah.
Some stuff is sold online, but we really like to have that, brick and mortar storefront.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like almost counterculture anymore, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. We live in a day where it's so easy to put stuff online and reach out to people, and we really try to focus on having that local presence and create something for our community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you ever feel, I mean, one of the most common things I hear as a Las Cruces native is like, oh, Cruces is too small, you can't really do anything here. Do you ever feel like that?
No, actually, from my standpoint, I'm always trying to create and do and build. And for me, Las Cruces is kind of like the Wild West, where basically anything I can think of, there's an opportunity for me to create it.
Yeah.
So, in that aspect, Las Cruces is the perfect place to be because all of the opportunity is there. I just have to find it.
Are you from here?
I'm originally from Deming, so
Okay.
I'm not too far away.
Yeah. Just down the street.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I've always thought of Cruces as, it's big enough that there's an economy, but it's small enough that you can still feel like you matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm admittedly not really well traveled, but I always imagined that growing up in something like New York City or even like Phoenix, it seems like it would be hard to feel like you could be significant, or you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like there's just so dense a population where like here in Cruces, I feel like you don't have that like mental blockage that you have to break through, and you have to feel like you have to like break through this this barrier of you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's the Wild West. There's a lot that hasn't been conquered or created or built, and for me, that's the perfect opportunity.
So would you say it's actually like helped to stifle not stifle, but to curate your creativity?
Yeah, definitely.
Fertile soil?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Huh. So out front, I mean, you said 140 different artists on display. You have art on display as well.
That's right.
You're an art. How do you say? A graduate of art?
Yeah, definitely. I went to school to, work on my painting skills and get them, closer to where I want them to be. But since I graduated, I've been constantly working. I try to do at least a show a year, with a new series of work each time.
Of your own?
Of my own work,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So having the gallery is really a good opportunity for me to show my own artwork and get my stuff out there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you always know you wanted to run an art gallery?
No.
No?
No, I didn't. I went to college and after graduating, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to build hot rods for a living. And, so I started going to college and decided, well, I'm going to go do some art. I'm pretty passionate about artwork, try that out. And as I got closer to the end of my stay at NMSU, I decided, man, I need to come up with something that's going to allow me to continue doing artwork and surround myself with creativity and art. So my last year of college, I decided, well, I'm going to open up a gallery where I can buy, sell, trade, build, any of that stuff. And that's how the idea for Art Obscura kind of formed. So I started working on it my last semester of college, and I was open a few weeks before I graduated.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice. That's kind of how when I graduated high school, I moved out of high school moved out of my parents' house 2 weeks before I graduated. So yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Not wasting any time, right?
Yep, yeah, exactly. Gotta get on it.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And Richard was with you from the beginning.
Yep.
So
That's right.
all right, Richard owns Spirit Winds, and owns this building. You guys are business partners.
Yep.
I mean, that's really awesome to me that he wasn't trying to stomp you out as competition.
Nope.
I mean, that's an art gallery of sorts, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a retail shop.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and in the small city of Las Cruces, where people are so protective about their little pocket, and he's like, hey, you know what? Yeah, you want to go off and create your own experience? Let's do it. I'm in. Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm so grateful for everything that he's done for me and kind of how he's helped kind of guide me along. I really take his advice to heart, and he's done a lot of really good things for Las Cruces. He's been in business since the 70s here in Las Cruces, so obviously he's doing something right. So whenever he gives me advice, I listen.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I don't think he ever sees it as competition. He's always just trying to create and build as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, I guess it's more art. It's bringing more art into the culture, and the stronger the culture is, the more it will flourish and just bring more people in. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's still an uncommon. I mean, from what I've seen, that's an uncommon, attitude, and obviously it's done him well.
Well, it has, because he's not worried about what other people think. He's not worried about somebody taking his business or anything like that. He just does what he wants, and that allows him to stand alone. So hopefully I can follow in his footsteps and be half as successful as he is.
Man, yeah, carry the torch, huh?
Yep.
Well, can you just make sure you continue doing that in Las Cruces?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't plan on going anywhere. Like I said, this is the Wild West, and I'm here for long term.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So, how did you've got 140 different artists. You've got a few different. I mean, these cars that are in here are not all yours. I don't know.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a collective area back here where we got a few guys that have space back here and kind of have this little community back here. lend tools to each other, help each other with the vehicles. It's this nice little community where we can just do our thing and have fun.
Do you have people that are kind of apprenticing here that are like learning the trade, things like that?
No, not really. We have somebody working up front in the gallery and kind of learning how things work. But as far as the garage, this is kind of like our hangout, fun house, clubhouse type of thing.
Yeah. So, so nobody that's like learning at this point, but could you see that, like, taking somebody under your wing?
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be pretty cool to have somebody that was, interested in learning this type of stuff. I would totally try and foster that.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. So how did you come to attract, all this whole collective, from the shop and the, the gallery? Like, was that all at once, or how did you?
It all happened pretty quickly, and I don't know how much I believe about the law of attraction, but it seems pretty plausible. You put something out into the universe, and it seems to come back. You put it out there, put your feelers out, and at this point, I feel like anything you can dream of or do, if you put your mind to it, it'll happen. I mean, you can't stop it. It's all about wanting something and attracting it.
Yeah.
Focusing your intentions.
So a lot of times, people think of the law of attraction and they think all I have to do is just, want it. But like that's not it, right?
Well, I mean, you gotta want it. That's the first step. But it's really about creating those connections with people, finding the people that want the same thing as you, and working together. It's not always about doing it yourself. You gotta have the right connections, and you gotta connect with people.
So Deret Roberts, not the lone wolf, the wolf pack. Yeah. I like that. So last time I think I was, maybe last two times I saw you, you were showing me a journal, like a bullet journal, was it?
Bullet journal, yeah.
So you said this is the best way to be productive. You'll get so many more things done.
Yeah, definitely. The bullet journal is really a way to get all of your ideas and tasks into a checklist, basically, and being able to visualize the things that you need to do, need to find, need to get done. Once you see it down on paper, I mean, it's there. You hold yourself accountable, and having that journal really helps me get things done.
Yeah. So do you have do you have a structure outside of that journal that really helps you to accomplish the things that you write down? Do you consider yourself to be very structured about your day?
No, I'm not really structured about my day. I know the things that I need to get done and the things that I want to get done. And once I get them down on paper, that holds me accountable, because it's written down. And if I don't check it off, it's like, well, I wanted to do that, but why didn't I check it off? So the journal, it doesn't have any feelings, or, it doesn't care how busy I am or whatever. It's there to show me what I need to get done. So using that, it really helps me keep on track.
So I think what you're saying is that the journal is not actually your accountability partner. Mm-hmm. It's just a tool.
It's a tool.
And so are you your own accountability partner?
Yeah, I would say so. Whenever I have something down on the list and I don't get it done, I'm like, well, I wrote it down, why didn't I do it? So it really comes back to me, and well, better get on it,
So do you really ask yourself, why didn't I do it?
Yeah.
And do you actually extend those whys? How deep do you explore that?
Well, it's it's really kind of started morphing the way I get things done and the way I look at projects. You know, it allows me to break things down into smaller chunks to accomplish bigger goals.
Yeah, that's I think that's a key aspect of getting things done, right? Otherwise, you just get overwhelmed.
At least for me, anyway.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just in my head, and I'm like, oh, I need to do this, it becomes kind of overwhelming. But whenever you can get it down on a piece of paper and break it into little chunks, you know, it's like pedaling up a steep hill on a bicycle. You know, you're at the bottom and you think, man, I'm never going to make it to the top. But you realize it's just one pedal at a time. That's all you got to do to get to the top.
Yeah.
One pedal at a time. You just got to keep going. It's not about, you know, doing this big burst getting up to the top of the hill. You just got to focus on the now and this one pedal at a time. That's all you got to do. Eventually you'll get to the top.
So now, at the same time, though, you know, every time I talk to you, there's something something new that you're trying. I don't know how much you want to actually talk about, but is it okay to mention like the cold brew coffee?
Yeah, definitely.
So motor oil, is that right?
Yeah, motor oil, cold brew coffee.
So you're formulating a cold brew coffee. You showed me the bottle. You said, you know, today, you know, we got the finished product. We got the lettering to adhere to the glass. You said you got the formula for the coffee down, and now you're playing with like a sweetened version, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Cane sugar. And so you know, this is like this, you know, little self-contained project. You showed me, you know, some glass work that you were doing. I don't know if you want to mention anything on that.
Sign making. You know, I've got all these side projects, these little businesses or projects, and you know, I never know if any of them are going to be fruitful, but I have to try.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. And whenever I come up with an idea, it's pretty hard to back down from it. Once it's in my head, you know, I have to follow through to see what the end result is every time, you know, because how will you ever know unless you give it a shot?
Yeah.
You have to.
So you've got like the grander, you know, daily responsibilities of running the shop, right? And then within that, and really because of that, you have these opportunities to really explore all these other ideas that you have.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And how do do you ever find it difficult to you know, maintain the focus on the things that you have to do, because of all these like things that come up that you really want to do, these little passion projects?
Well, you know, the bullet journal keeps me on track. So, you know, I've got my daily responsibilities that I got to take care of. But I also try to chip away at those other projects that I have in mind. You know, as long as I'm making that one pedal at a time on each of those projects, they're eventually going to go somewhere. Yeah. So, you know, take care of my responsibilities, and whenever I get a chance, I chip away at one of my little projects, you know, and eventually they'll be fruitful. Yeah.
Do you just kind of, whenever you have those free moments that you can work on the you know, the additional projects, is it just whichever one is like calling to you in that moment, or do you try to work through a certain rotation?
Well, it's not like I'm not ever really waiting for a free moment, because that never happens. Yeah. So, you know, I really try to focus on working those into my daily routine as, you know, as that little piece of the step or project. That's an important part of the day. You know, it's not just a hobby or something that I do whenever I have free time. I really try to integrate that into my daily activities so that I'm not getting behind, or, you know, I really try to keep everything pushing forward.
Yeah. So what does that what does that daily routine look like that you?
It's different from day to day. Every
Yeah.
single day is totally different, and that's something that I'm really thankful for. You know, I see my parents that have been working the same job for, you know, my dad's been an electrician for 40 years, and every day he's pretty much doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And you know, talking with him about his life experiences and stuff, you know, he's pretty burned out on it, you know, doing that same thing over and over and over. You know, we talk about it as, you know, we call it eating the ham sandwich. You know, it's like making a ham sandwich and eating it every single day.
Yeah.
You know, at some point you get pretty burned out on ham sandwiches.
Yeah.
So that's our kind of ongoing joke. So
If you can at least put some different cheese in there, or
something,
right?
something, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've really seen that experience from my dad. You know, it really makes me want to strive to have an interesting day. You know, every day is totally different for me, and I'm grateful for that. You know, and I want to strive to keep doing that because, you know, that's what keeps me inspired and keeps me energized on doing what I'm doing.
So yeah, I mean, so you say it's different every day, but you do come here every day.
I do come here
Right.
every day. This is home base,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
And this is kind of the platform for all these different things that I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, this shop really gives me the ability to be creative and think outside the box.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if you feel the same way, but I've been, you know, noticing in myself that when I can have, so like in order to start doing this podcast, I restructured a contract agreement that I had with you know, my programming clients, so that I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Mondays and Fridays I reserve those as like those are days that I can do the things that I want to do, the things that I, you know, feel like I have to do them. I have to do this podcast. I have to, you know, go have coffee with my buddies, and you know, go have lunch with my wife, and you know, do the different things that you just tend not to do when you get so bogged down into a 5-day-a-week work routine.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And I so before I started working those 3 days, I was actually, so I'm contracted out at 100 hours a month, which should theoretically leave, you know, a good amount of margin for me. But before I set it up that, you know, I'm working these days only, I found that like I was so scattered, I was so busy, I was always behind on my hours, and I was working every hour of the day. And, you know, it's just like I couldn't get stuff done. I was having to discount invoices because I wasn't meeting my hours. And you know, now that I've got this, like, more strict, you know, definition of when I'm doing this work and when I'm not doing this work, I feel like I have way more ability to stay on top of the responsibilities that I have, and to make the most of the time when I don't have those responsibilities I have to fulfill. I don't know if you have something similar to that.
Very similar
Okay,
to that.
okay.
Yeah. So I have my week totally structured out. I know what's going to be happening on every day, and it gives me this. It's strange because somehow adding more structure has given me more flexibility.
Yeah.
Because I'm not wasting time thinking about what I'm gonna do. I already know exactly what I'm gonna do when I have to do it. So it gives me a chance to free up time because I have certain allotted times for what I need to be doing. And that's super helpful for me.
So what's that structure look like?
Well, you know, my week is pretty strange. So on Mondays, like I said, my dad's an electrician. I go to Deming and I help my dad on Mondays. He works by himself, and
He owns a business?
yeah, he does electrical work. He just works by himself, doesn't have any employees. So I go down on Mondays and I help him out and get him back on track for the week.
Huh.
He has so much work that, if I didn't go down and help him out with these big jobs, he would just be bogged down forever.
Yeah.
So I do that on Mondays.
And that's awesome time to spend with your dad.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's a good time to spend with family, and I'm always learning something, and he's been an electrician for 40 years, so I'm always getting tips, advice. I'm learning. I'm constantly working with my hands and doing stuff, so I love it.
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I have the shop closed, and those are my 2 days that I allow for projects, hands-on projects, or whatever I need to be working on. Those are days that I kind of reserve for, like the coffee or any of my other side projects that I'm working on. I set those 2 days aside, and I say, well, I get up early and go start working on those projects. Then Thursday through Sunday, I'm here at the shop, focusing on those things and, kind of using that time to restructure for the next week. So I've always got something that I know I need to be doing, and that allows me to get things done and also free up some time.
Yeah, that's cool. So there's a real distinct similarity there, huh?
Yeah, I would say so.
Huh. Having those 2 days put together, I've been wondering about that myself, because I've got mine as sort of bookends on the week.
Yeah.
And I wonder about putting them together.
Having them together is the best thing that I've ever done as far as my own personal schedule. Having Tuesday and Wednesday as just think of it as one long day that I can get all this stuff done.
Yeah.
And that has been a big game changer for me.
So you probably you're probably one of those people that gets up in the morning, comes and works your job, goes home at 5 o'clock, and then just watches Netflix and checks out for the rest of the day, right?
Not exactly.
No, not entirely,
not exactly. Yeah.
What is that? What does that look like? What do you do like in your your free time? Like the whole thing is free time, right? I mean, really, what it comes down to, you're doing what you choose to do, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So whenever you think about it that way, hours don't really matter. It's all about getting stuff done.
Yeah.
Some days are really long, it's 18-hour workday, but whenever you're working on your dreams and working on these things that you want to do, it doesn't matter if you're working 18 hours a day. At the end of the day, you're accomplishing what you want to accomplish. So it doesn't feel like, if I was working at a desk job for 18 hours a day, I would go crazy. There's no way I could do that.
Right.
But since I'm doing all these different things and doing what I want to do, it doesn't matter if I'm working that many hours a day. It doesn't make any difference.
Are you a napper? You ever take naps?
No, I can't do the naps.
No.
If I go to take a nap, I'm out for 3
That's
hours,
it? Oh,
and then the rest of the day is just
no power naps then.
it's just the rest of the day is just gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You never conk out for like a 20-minute power nap, huh?
No.
Man, that's my secret sauce right there. Like yesterday, I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, and I just had thoughts because today, we're recording today, and from here I'm going to Oregon Mountain and go talk to Chris. So I've got like, not only is this my first episode today, but it's my first 2 episodes, right? So like I just had all these things that went through my head, and I was like, you know what? I laid in bed for about 20-30 minutes, and I was like, I'm just gonna get up. I mean, my body's up, my brain's up. Why not just get up? Like, just go get some stuff done. And if I am feeling run down later, I'll just go take a little power nap and
good to go.
Get it on. But I didn't. I didn't even, my kid graduated from kindergarten yesterday, and we had like a fun day. And my buddy had his book release party for his first novel.
That's cool.
The Sugar Skull Ghost Thief. Yeah, Jason Solis. And so it's like, it was just a totally fulfilling day, and a day that I didn't feel like I needed a nap, right? So, but yeah, I'm one of those that like if I'm feeling sluggish, like I'll just go take a 20-minute power nap and then come out of it and be ready to go again.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with me, but instead of the nap, I'd throw in some potent coffee or something.
Okay,
in there, keep it going. Yeah.
Exercise?
Yeah. I try to get to the gym at least 2 times a week just to, keep myself going. It really feels like when I go to the gym, it's not like I'm tired afterwards. It feels like I have more energy. So I try to stay active. I'm always working and doing stuff with my hands and body, but setting aside that couple hours a week to get some exercise, I feel like that really boosts my ability to keep going.
Yeah. You do like weight training?
Training? Get on the treadmill.
Okay.
I always start with running a mile, get my heart rate up, keep
Yeah.
my heart and lungs working good, and then do some weight training.
Nice. Yeah. Which gym do you go to?
I go to Planet Fitness.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I have a membership there.
Haven't seen you there.
No, you sure haven't. Nobody's seen me there in a while. Maybe we should make something happen about that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I have actually been doing yoga.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I try to do, like, every morning I try to get up and do yoga, and I've really been liking that experience.
Yeah. I mean, getting that flexibility,
Yeah.
and, flexibility is so important.
Yeah.
It is so important, So, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So when I was in high school, I was on the football team. I didn't exactly play, but I was on the football team, and I was just the most rigid, skinny, tall white guy ever. Like my buddy was a lineman, and he would stretch me every day, and he would just be laying on top of me, just like trying to crush me into flexibility. And I was so rigid, I couldn't gain any flexibility. And doing yoga for like 3 weeks, I can I can touch my toes. I never could do that,
yeah.
right? It's like, holy cow, man! I can actually feel it working. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yoga is awesome. Totally, yoga is awesome. Yeah, but I need to get into some weight routines.
Yeah,
as well.
really anything just to keep your body moving and support, your heart and lungs and
Yeah.
flexibility. That's what you need to keep going. If you're gonna be working hard and building big successful things, your body needs to work good too. It's not just your mind.
Yeah.
Everything has to be well rounded.
Yeah, we'll put. So, do you go to the gym on the same days?
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That's it. All right. That's the.
Go hit it early in the morning, and then the rest of the day, it kind of sets the tone for the pace of things. and
Yeah.
Get things done.
So, what time do you wake up in the morning?
Well, I wish I could wake up earlier.
Yeah.
My girlfriend wakes up at 4 o'clock to get out on the farm, and I'd like to say that I do that as well, but
No.
I can't. I'm more of a wake up at 7 o'clock, 6 or 7, and work till 11 or 12.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of like doing the later shift.
Yeah.
But if I could, it's something that I'm myself am working on right now, is being able to get up earlier. So that's something I'm kind of working towards now. I wish I could comfortably get up at 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I do sometimes, but it's not comfortably.
Yeah.
Those are days when I really got to get stuff done.
Yeah. But it takes effort to not stay up till midnight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've been trying, and I've had a couple of pretty successful stints of like waking up at 4:30, working on some side projects that I was building, some software, and the only time I could really do it was at before I go, before my family wakes up,
Yeah.
right? So I did that pretty successfully for about 2 months, but just keeping it going was tough.
It definitely takes some discipline.
Yeah.
I give props to my girlfriend Abby Carver for getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and getting stuff done. That's some dedication right there.
So she's setting up Brazito Farms, is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
And what's going on with that?
So we've got a farm that we do together called Brazito Farms, about 1.5 acres vegetable production. And just recently, she's partnered up with Jay Hill, and they are working on a 16-acre farm within a housing development.
Okay.
And so we could say it's New Mexico's first agri-hood.
Agri-hood.
It's the agri-hood.
Huh. We got the hood, we got the new hood, and the agri-hood.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. It's all good in the hood.
It's all good in the hood.
Yeah,
Make that T-shirt, man.
yeah.
I wear that.
Yeah, so yeah, she's working on that, and you know, that's a awesome project, and you know, she's getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning because it's a worthwhile project to be working hard on.
Man, and she seems to be just so enthused by it. You know,
She loves it.
the post that, like, she put out a post on Instagram like a couple of weeks ago, and she just like encouraging people to, you know, live their life of passion, and you could tell just how much she's getting out of this project. It's really incredible.
Yeah. This is exactly what she wants to be doing, and she's going for it.
Yeah.
And nothing's gonna stop her.
That's great.
And you know, I give her props for that. That's what that's what I hope everyone could shoot for and go for. And I don't see any reason why that couldn't be the case.
Yeah. I you know, she's one of the people I really hope to be able to talk to, Abby Carver. So yeah, man. And you're involved in the farm as well?
Yeah. So I lend a hand on our 1.5 acre farm. You know, I'm out there driving the tractor and pulling weeds and collecting eggs and all that good
Dude,
stuff.
that's so awesome.
You know,
That's so awesome. Just kind of connecting with nature a little bit.
Oh, man, it's awesome. Yeah. It's a ton of work. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But the end product is so satisfying. Being able to eat fresh, get fresh produce to friends and family. You know, that's a really cool thing to be able to do.
Yeah. So what days do those happen on, the farm days?
That's really whenever, you know, that's early in the morning before I come over here, or whenever I'm done here, I'll head out to the farm, or, you know, anytime I can lend a hand out there, you know, I try to.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is it like connected to your property or?
Yeah,
real close?
it's right behind our house.
Nice.
Actually, so it's really easy to get out there, and we're building some new facilities out there. We have a processing kitchen and a walk-in cooler, and so we'll be able to produce our own products and hopefully have some dinners out on the farm and stuff like that. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to mention it or not, but this is leading up towards what's happening across the street, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so right across the street from Art Obscura is an old gas distribution plant that was built in the 30s. And we recently just acquired this building, and we're going to start renovations to turn it into a farm-to-table restaurant. We want to focus on having food that's locally sourced, either grown by us or local farmers, and all of the beers and wines that we have on tap will be from New Mexico. You know, so trying to keep that hyper-local sense. Fresh and local, you know, that's what we're shooting for.
So I only knew of this as, for some reason, in my head it was like I was thinking breakfast, because you guys mentioned eggs, but you just dropped beer and wines on me now too. So this is going to be like a full service restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of work, but you know, one pedal at a time. We'll eventually get there, and it'll work.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier what was really important to you to getting to where you've come is the people that have been around you. So you have some people that are behind you and working with you on this project as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's not many things you can accomplish totally by yourself. You know, Richard's in on that project as well, Abby, and you know, we've got a lot of people that have said, you know, if you need help, I'm there.
Yeah.
This is something that I want. I'm going to help you work towards it. You know, this isn't just for you. This is for the community.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've got a lot of good people backing us, and, you know, with that type of support, you know, there's no way we can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a chef picked out?
Yeah, actually, my good friend Aaron Sines.
Okay.
Went to culinary school. He's a good friend, always helping out over here at the shop, and he's gonna be a great chef.
Great, man. Yeah. Good luck, Aaron.
Yeah.
Right on. So, wow. Art Obscura, the hood, the new hood, the hood merchandise, all the projects, passion projects that you have, working with your dad, the cold brew, motor oil coffee, your own art, the farm, Brazito Farms, the upcoming restaurant. What the hell am I missing? What?
I think that's about it for
about
now.
it.
I mean, there's probably a few other projects in there that I'm working towards, but I've got myself kind of sectioned off to those projects right now.
Do you try to keep yourself from overextending, or no, just let it all go, huh?
Just go, whatever I feel like doing, I'm gonna figure out a way to do it.
Yeah. So you have a pruning process? So it's like, okay, here's the things I tried, here's the things I'm not going to do, here's the things I'm going to keep doing, or is that just natural?
Really, I really try to follow through with things. So if I start something, I'm gonna get to some sort of level of finish.
Huh.
It's just something that would eat away at me if I, started something and just didn't finish.
Yeah.
Some things take longer than others, but once it's in my head, I can't get rid of it.
Yeah. Huh. Which is, I laugh because we met because of a mutual friend, Chris Lang, that brought us together for an app idea that you had.
Yeah.
So that tells me that's still something you're pursuing.
Everything that I start, I'm gonna follow through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Well, we didn't even mention. You have within the gallery, you have music. You've got a band coming through is it on next Monday?
On the 1st?
Is that right? I think is it a Thursday?
I think it's a Thursday.
Thursday, okay, next Thursday.
Yeah.
And I'd never heard of them before, but two of them had links to music, and it's like, wow, these are fantastic bands. Do you remember the names of the bands coming through?
Karen Meat and
Karen Meat,
I can't remember off the top of my head who else is coming. But yeah, lately we've been getting a lot of traveling groups coming through, and we've been getting some really good acts here at the gallery.
Yeah.
So that's fun, and it's always getting bigger and better.
How many people do you think do you expect for that show?
There'll probably be about 50 people in the gallery. Yeah.
And man, it's it's bands I'd never heard of before. That when I went and looked them up, music was really good. They're obviously independent. They're traveling through. It's this like quaint, really personal, venue, and it's $3 a ticket to get in. It's like, man, how
can you go wrong?
That's like all the points. All the points are just met right there.
Yeah. So really, one thing that we try to focus on with Art Obscura is kind of harboring experience, and really being able to give something back to people. One thing I hear all the time is that, there's nothing to do in Las Cruces. Well, we're working on that. We've got all these bands. We have about 4 or 5 music shows a month. We do poetry slams, film nights. Anything that we can house in the gallery, we will.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going. Do you think at some point when the restaurant's open that the music and stuff like that is at the restaurant?
Yeah, definitely. So we've made a lot of good connections with booking agents all over the U.S. and we're getting emails daily about bands trying to come through. So
no joke. So you guys are on a map somewhere, huh?
I feel like we're on a couple of them somewhere. I don't know. So
That's
yeah,
great.
we were getting emails every day about groups coming through. So you know, it's going to be really easy to have some quality music at the restaurant right
Yeah.
across the street. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So you said, and I really like the way that you put it, that you really focused on bringing experiences.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So thinking about like your dad and the ham sandwiches, I mean, I think that's sort of the every person story almost. You know that I don't I, I don't think most people are in love with what they do, and really to put it even more succinctly, I don't think most people are in love with their life. You know, and to me that's such a tragic thing. You know, I think our time here is so valuable and so important, if for no other reason than because you're going to come in contact with people, and the contact that you make with people is going to have an impact on people, you know? And that's why I see like you know, have this aura and, you know, these experiences that you're creating and the work that you're doing. And I think it's probably the thing that drives you. It's not because you want to, you know, you want this thing to, you know, just go make you millions of dollars. It's because of the impact that you can have on a person's life.
Exactly.
So what do you think about, you know, the just countless number of people that are sort of existing in some state of discomfort almost, you know?
Well, I mean, I can't speak for everybody. You know, I don't know what's going on in everybody's lives, but I do know that doing what you love is the most important thing. The money doesn't matter. You know, that's something that society has fabricated over centuries. You know, everyone tells you need to go to school, you need to get a degree, you need to get a high-paying job, you need to, you know, you have your family, and then you grow old and you die. And that's kind of the success story that we've been fed, you know, since we were young, since, you know, everyone has been fed that. And I think doing what you love is the most important thing, because that's ultimately what's gonna allow you to have a lasting impact on your community, your friends, and your family. You know, what else is more important than that? Money? You know, that doesn't make any sense. You know, so if you aren't doing something that's changing things, you know, if you're not stirring things up, you know, what's the point? You know, so I mean, like, really the best advice I can give people is, you know, really sit down and think about what do you love? What's ultimately going to make you happy? You know, some people love working 9 to 5 and, you know, getting the paycheck and going home to their family. That's totally fine.
Totally, yeah.
But it's not for me, and I know there's a lot of people that, you know, might be stuck in that situation that don't want to be. And really, I can just say is find what you love and pursue it.
Yeah.
Pursue it. And if you're doing what you love and you're working on making an impact, the money will come. You know, don't worry about that. You know, do what you want to do and focus on it, whether it be one thing or 20 things.
Yeah.
You got to do what you love, and the money will follow up. You know, that's all I can say.
Yeah. So I don't know. Part of my hope for, you know, creating this this podcast is that, I mean, obviously I want to reach the creators, right? But at some level, you know, really part of my hope is also to kind of like bring a little bit of you know, to the people that are kind of doing the standard, you know, 9 to 5 deal, and even if that's your reality, right? I mean, for some people, trying to break out of that reality is such a radical thing because of how, I mean, yeah, you build up your whole life around that, and now you've got all these dependencies on that reality, right? And but even with that, like there's still room to tap into your, you know, your inner creativity, to tap into your like your deeper well of life, right? And not just to kind of fall into the routine, you know, wake up in the morning, drink your coffee, watch the news, go to work, you know, come home, you know, have some wine, watch the news, you know, go to bed, and, you know, repeat. That there's so many opportunities, and really there's so many good reasons to make opportunities to experience life, you know, more out of life. I mean, and you have no shortage of that here. So I really like what you said of, you know, the things that are more so important that I picked up from you are, for one, a community of people that are going to rally around sort of the same energy, right? So having the people around you, having and creating experiences, and just kind of this relentlessness about, you know, not giving up on your dreams, you know, whether they're huge or, you know, a small, you know, I mean, your dreams are from this shop, to, you know, this bottle of cold brew coffee, to this, you know, glass project, to, you know, like they're all dreams, and from what I can tell, they're all equally as important, you know? So like, don't, for those, you know, the people that are like locked into the job, you know, you don't have to, it's not an all or nothing thing, right? If you've got this project that you've always wanted to do, but you just don't ever take the time to do it because you've kind of, you know, the gears are turning, and, you know, as long as the gears are in place, you know, the mechanics of the machine are never going to change, right?
Exactly.
But if you got this one little project that you want to do, like, go do that. You know, come home from work, have your glass of wine, have your beer, and you can even watch your TV, right? Just set it up in the shop, you know, and go do that project that you want to do, right? And just start there and see what comes from that. And who knows, maybe at some point, I mean, you're hanging out in the hood, right? Wrenching on a you know, a motorcycle, or, you know, creating some artwork to hang in the gallery or something like that, right? Yeah.
I would agree.
Oh man, it's so good. I knew that, you know, you had something special going on here, but I don't think I knew to the extent, and you know, I still think I'm only kind of scratching the surface. Like, yeah, there's depth here, man, and you really have a lot to offer. I really appreciate you, you know, agreeing to opening up and sharing, you know, a little bit of what's inside.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we got like 10:30, or no, 9:30. Shop opens at 10 o'clock. So we can, you know, keep going. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to talk on, or.
Well, I mean, really, the one thing that I feel like I could say is, one, find your passion, what you want to do. Number two, work hard at it. And the third one is determination. You can't just be passionate about something. When you're passionate about something, you may work hard and do it and with all this passion, but with passion, when you get knocked down, you generally don't get back up. Determination is getting knocked down and getting back up and trying again.
So where does that come from?
Really, that's just something inside of you that you got to find, and it relates back to finding your passion. And, you know, when you get knocked down, you got to get back up. Everyone is going to get knocked down. Your idea, you know, might not be totally formed or whatever, but there's going to be people and situations that are going to break you down along the way, and your ability to get back up and reform those pieces and go forward is what's going to be the game changer.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't matter how passionate you are if you can't persevere, huh?
If you can't get back up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Huh. Very cool, man. Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Like, what advice would you give me embarking in this pursuit? And I feel like you almost just spoke directly to me right there. I don't know. Is there anything specific that you would have to offer?
Really, the most important thing is being able to get back up when you get knocked down. That's the most important thing. Whenever you're tired or something doesn't go quite right, you can't get discouraged easily. Somebody's going to come along and say, your idea is not worth anything, forget about it. And you're going to be like, well, dang. You're like, no, I'll show you. I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. And you get back up and you go even harder.
Huh. So, I don't know, one of the things that that I find like commonly runs through my head is there's this kind of like back and forth conversation, right? Which I don't know if that makes me a schizophrenic or not, but that's the way it happens. On one hand, I'm telling myself, just what makes a difference is that you actually do, and you see it through, and you don't stop, don't quit, persevere. That's what makes the difference, right? But then on the other hand, this other voice pops up that says, yeah, but you know what? Like the thing that you're wanting to do, you're too late. Somebody, that already came along, that already happened, and like you should be doing the next thing, but you're busy doing the last thing. You know what I mean? Which maybe is a good thing as well, like to have that, that refinement, right? I don't know. Do you ever? Does that ever happen with you?
All the time. I've always got this inner dialogue, telling me to go one way or another, and it's just you really just gotta go with the flow. You gotta go with the flow, and you gotta just do it, no matter what. Just do it. I don't have enough time, so just do it. I don't have enough money, so just do it.
Yeah.
Everyone's telling me I can't do it, so just do it. That's the key.
Yeah. You mentioned, things that are going to knock you down. Do you think it's important to be able to anticipate those things, or do you prefer just not even to think
really,
about it?
it's just go with the flow, and if it happens, react and make the change and go forward. You can never anticipate, failure or getting knocked down. That's just unforeseen things that happen, and you just got to be able to put it back together and go forward.
So would it be safe to say that somebody that's kind of starting fresh, that has something that they're passionate about and is working towards making it happen, is it safe to say that your number one advice to them would be like get in a group, get with people that
find like-minded people that are willing to work with you and help you accomplish something. Each one of these each one of these projects requires help.
Yeah,
Exactly. Sounds like something's going on over there.
Somebody's here, yeah.
Yeah.
And see.
It's about time to get things going.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, dude, thank you so much. This has been really insightful and inspiring, and I know this is going to be inspiring to a lot of different people. So, thank you for agreeing to spend this time.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
For sure.
Yep.
Really glad to be able to call you a friend, man.
Thanks, man. You too.
Hey. Well, so folks, Deret Roberts, Art Obscura, The Hood, Brazito Farms, and Derek's buddy that's trying to get in the back door, really relentlessly. Come check him out. Come talk to the man himself. He's a good dude, and he should have been like way more in frame, and like, yeah, we'll get all that stuff worked out. But yeah, come see what's going on out here, and that's it for episode 1 of the Creator's Pursuit. See you on the pursuit. Keep creating. All right, buddy. Thank you, man.
Yep.